Alrighty everybody, I hope you're all doing okay today. Welcome back to another classic WoW gold farming video. This is our 6th video in the outdoor gold farming series. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new, hello, it's good to have you with us today. Before we get into today's video though, as always, if you've not seen the previous video in the series where we was in a hot desert, then if you like the look of that video, you can find it in the description below to this one. Alternatively, you can find a card to that video in the upper right hand portion of the screen right now. Anyways, today, as the title suggests, we're gold farming in Felwood. Specifically, it's the Jadefire run. This particular gold farm isn't up there in the 100 club of gold made per hour. If you expect every video to be like that, then I'm sorry, but a Paladin class probably isn't for you. Some information about today's gold farm is that, as the title suggests, we can expect to make roughly 25 gold or more per hour here. The reason mine is fairly low compared to what you could get on a good day is because the competition was fairly high for me. It is also fairly easy to do, especially now that we all have Blackwing Glare gear, or at least most of us. It's even easier for us Paladins since we can use the likes of Holy Shock, Judgment of Righteousness and Exorcism since the mobs we're after are demons. So you can imagine that they would die fairly fast by getting nuked by that huge burst damage. The mobs are all around the low level 50s, so they wouldn't really pose much of a risk. It is in a neutral zone, so the horde can be in the area. You can actually find some useful items here also. With that being said, let's look at the positives and the negatives. Starting with the bad, as mentioned, we can run into horde, so if you are on a PvP server, you could get ganked. It is also a small area, so if there is competition then it could get very crowded very fast, which is something that we don't want at all. Since we are killing mobs for a certain drop, then it is very luck dependent also. Fortunately for us, and moving into the positives now, the drop chance for these items isn't too low. It's actually around 7 to 9% drop chance from the following mobs as seen in the cutaway. The items we're mainly after is felcloth since it sells for a decent price. Currently at the time of recording on my server, it goes for around 2 gold each. The demand for these won't go away anytime soon either, since people will need to make a number of good items, namely the transmute to mooncloth, to make things like the mooncloth bag for example. It's also great because despite the gold per hour being not too high, but it is in fact a great way to acquire other items too. You can find a lot of rune cloth here. Also greys will drop, selling sometimes for over a gold each too, and you can be lucky with greens for disenchanting or to straight up sell on the auction house. Other items that I think are a great addition to this are the whipper root tubers, which is like a mini health potion healing you instantly on use for 700 to 900 HP. Not bad, eh? To cleanse them though, you need to complete a quest called Cleansing Felwood, starting and ending as seen here. If you want to know more about those, you can find the link to a Wowhead link below in the description box of this video, taking you to the whole quest chain to be able to cleanse them. The final positive that I'll mention is that it's actually one of 2 farming locations in the zone. More on this later when we get into the how-to though. So who is this gold farm suited to? To be honest with you, it's good for any class, although as a paladin, we do shine in this one with the above abilities mentioned. Other high burst damage dealers would be great for this too, so the likes of warriors, hunters, warlocks and mages for example could be good, as well as the likes of any other class who is good at single target damage. Now I won't sugarcoat it either, paladins and mages would have a field day here if you are farming this place in a time when nobody's around. The mob density is fairly good and the area is pretty small, so rounding them up and mass AoEing them down is super fun and easy to do and would drastically increase your gold per hour in my opinion. I can't say that I've ever been able to do this though, as I've never been here without competition for long enough to try it out. Plus, I'm always asleep for around 10 PM anyway. But for you night owls, this might be a good opportunity for you. So if you do have experience in this, let everybody know in the comments below your results. It would be great to know about that. The exact location for this, as the title suggests, is the Jadefire run in Felwood, as seen right here. The second location, which is probably just as good, is right here as seen on the map. I would go here if the competition is simply too much, although since we are in Felwood, I will add some extra sauce for you all. There are water and fire elementals in this zone. The fire ones are found here, and the water elementals are here. So if the felcloth farms are both over contested, then perhaps going to one of these for a while instead might also be a good alternative in the short term, just to wait out the competition. I find it rare to see anyone farming for longer than an hour at a time anyway. Going on to the how-to now. With the above information, it should be easy as pie. Simply go down to any of the areas in Felwood I mentioned and plough through the demons. Eventually, after killing a high amount of them, you'll end up with a decent amount of felcloth and other items that will make you a fair amount of gold. My advice is to do this farm for an hour minimum. If you are here for less, you'll likely not finish with much at all. Remember, consistency is key. Even if you do an hour, then take a break and then go back for another hour, it still counts. Just be cautious of the enemy faction and always be cautious of other farmers in the area. I see this all too often. There's usually about 4 to 6 people in the area at once, and they're all being inconsiderate by trying to steal each other's kills. If you're here before people, pick a spot and stick to it. Don't move over and try and steal their kills. It's highly annoying. If there is nobody around, then of course you've got the entire area to yourself. But if someone comes along, just let them know that you've been here for a while and ask them politely to split the zone into a 50-50 split. Remember, kindness goes a long way. But anyway, enough about that rant. One final awesome tip that I have for you all is that, since we are in Felwood, there is a vendor in here that I find highly valuable. His name is Mulligan, and he sells the recipe for the monster omelette, which, if you guys saw my cooking video, you will know I always take extra books or recipes to sell on the auction house for a profit. This will likely sell fairly quickly since it is a good food buff to have, which does sell for tanks and such in raids. He sells it for around 96 silver, and if you look at TSM, it sells on my server currently for around 3 gold and 60 silver. So that's a nice little item to buy for some more profit at the end of your farming session before you head back to the cities. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you've not already, then be sure to subscribe to the channel for much more helpful content such as this video. I do actually have a goal of reaching 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so if you could do that for me, I'd massively appreciate that. I make these videos for you guys at the end of the day, so by subscribing you're letting me know that I'm doing a good job and I'm helping out lots of people because of it. By now you should have some good information to take with you on your travels in Classic WoW. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video, and until the next one everybody, see ya.